Hey guys, Sean Bougie here. If someone could let me know that you can hear and see me okay, that would be great. Decided to start a little early, make sure everything's working all right. Somebody let me know. Let's see here. There we go. Hi. Hey, Amachu. Looks like we're live. All messages, guys, are going to be private. That does not mean that I can't see them. Great evening. Thank you. Sounds great. Fantastic, Chris. All right, guys. Salute from Texas. Fantastic. Hi from Arizona. Man, good. You guys are like coming in from everywhere. That's good. Like to see if somebody can stump me this evening. And by stump, I don't mean about specific necessarily. Colorado, Danny. Stump us. Stump me with any questions you got. I'm not sure Jeff's going to join us as a moderator. He usually jumps in. Hey, about Verlene and Doug and Ed and Keisha and Joe and Priscilla. And by the way, there is a delay between when you send me questions and when I get back to you. That's okay. It's about a 2-minute delay. There you go. Hey, Jeff. Wow, that was faster than I thought. The delay's not as big as we think, man. I did this at the last minute, guys, and when I do something like that, I certainly don't expect Jeff to jump in on his Friday evening. So that was fantastic, and I really appreciate and respect that, Jeff. Great to be here. Thank you, Dale. Somebody from Greensboro as well. Curtis from Houston. Dang, guys, y'all are coming in from everywhere. All right, so before we get started, and I know that there's a good bit of you guys that haven't started up with this yet. There's a good mix though, right? We've got people also that have started and that have already started working with us. We've got people in here that have gotten paid already. We've got a little mix of everybody in here. Thank you, Liz. Good afternoon. So what I wanted to talk about was the process. Oh, wow. Well, let's answer a couple questions first, I guess. Chris, I know, man, we're just teasing you with the illegal program that we're going to release. Any idea when you'll be having inner circle meeting? I don't know. Jeff and I need to speak about that, but you know what? It's overdue because we try to do at least 2 a year. So that's a really good question, Chris. Freddie from Delaware. All right, so Jason threw me a question. I guess I'm going to start into these guys. I appreciate you guys are asking good questions right out of the chute. And that's what we're here for, right? Jason, best way to handle the second call with a claimant. All right, Jason, not enough information. Did you have a warm response before? You've already spoken with them? Is it calling back to give them more information? Is a little more? Oh, good. He says, best way to handle, I will shop around for best percentage and what's the rebuttal. Jason, me personally, sounds like you're doing this on your own because we don't get into percentages and stuff, even with our P16 guys. They're just calling to make sure. This is if you're using the Premier 16, not the National Surplus. They're just calling to make sure people want to speak with us and that they're the right person. But second call with a claimant where, hold on, sorry, I've got to shift up on here. They're going to shop around for a percentage. I just tell them up front, somebody's going to beat me on a percentage, Mr. Johnson. Here's why. I always hire attorneys. That's going to cost me money. I take a lot more risk as a result. I'm also going to give you 10% of the gross amount being held. Mr. Johnson, I've already told you it's 40 grand. I'm going to give you 4 grand within a week after you sign my documents. And then I'll give you another, whatever we agree to on the back end. Let's say on 40 grand, let's say I was going to give them $22,000, $24,000, let's say 24 grand, right? I'll give you 4 grand now and I'll give you another 20 when we're done. Somebody else is going to give you a whole lot more money than that, but I'm going to use an attorney. The court's going to actually pay attention to me because I'm using an attorney. I know what I'm doing, and I know the risk that I'm taking too. We can have different people come in at the 11th hour, even if there wasn't debt against you or the property at the time of the sale. So I say, hey, just keep my number in place. You know, I'm not doing this out of a basement. I've got a crew. I have an office. I have I'm a member of rifleownerproject.org, which is vetted. Yes, I actually had a background check performed on myself. So yeah, you know, we're just a different animal. We're the professionals. Go ahead and shop. I'll send you a little letter letting you know that we had this conversation today. And I wish you the best of luck, whether you use this or not. Have a great day. That's it. You want them to want you. The other thing is, I'm then going to send them the takeaway letter, which is basically had a good conversation with you. You mentioned you wanted to shop this around. I respect and appreciate that. If you decide you want to work work with a pro, give me a call. Here's my phone number. Have a great day. That's it, guys. They're going to shop people. I don't have time or energy for that because of the way I do it. I give them 10% up front. I hire an attorney and I do this where I use mobile notaries. I'm not doing this off the seat of my pants. So what news do you have about Michigan? Well, some of you guys saw that on the Facebook page. It looks like Michigan lost in court. They're not supposed to be able to keep the money. Imagine that. That's above and beyond what the person owed in taxes on the property. Imagine that. You're not supposed to be able to keep that extra money, that little windfall in Michigan. So you're probably going to start to see, I would say, you know, it's a state government, guys. Give them a year. And you'll probably see tax sale overages starting to appear in Michigan. Can you break up the $500 training into a 10 people group for $50 each? Absolutely not, Daryl. A couple things, guys. We don't mind if we've got professional partners buying our program and working them together. We don't mind if we've got a husband and wife, mommy, daughter, husband, son, whatever. We don't mind that as long as there's one email for support questions and it needs to match the buy email. The second thing is, because we're not going to train 10 people for you or 10 people for one buy. That's ridiculous. The second thing is when you fill out a worksheet, it's got to be under one name. Even if we're paying a corporation, there's going to be one name for a researcher. That way, if there is an issue, because we've had this happen before in the future, where two people break up, they're not getting along, they start arguing about who turned in that particular file. I really don't care. I'm not going to get into that argument. I'm going to pay the company that was listed on the independent contractor agreement you signed, or if they didn't have a company or whatever, and you don't need to have a company work with me or an LLC, well, I'm going to go ahead and pay the person that's listed on that page, and y'all can figure it out. This break it up into 10 people. Good Lord, Daryl. Let me be as tactful as I can be. If you can only afford $50, this is not the program for you because you're going to be working out of desperation. I'm not making fun of you. You're going to be working out of desperation. That's all the money you got, cash reserves you got. You're going to be working out of desperation and you're not going to succeed. All right. Hi, everyone. David Newcomer. Thank you, David. Alba, tax sale in Georgia. Denny. I don't know what that question is about, Denny. So let me scroll back real quick. Danny from Westminster. Okay, you just says tax sale. Okay, yeah, I need you to ask a question, brother. Jason, how many calls? I don't understand that question either. Guys, I need you to not talk in shorthand to me, please. Oh, the one, yeah, no, the one-on-one is one-on-one and it's a Zoom meeting. And by the way, there's two people that got up with this and I sent emails and I never got anything back from that. That's a Zoom meeting with Jeff and I. It's a one-on-one meeting. It's extremely expensive because we're busy. It's $500 for that. And no, I'm going to see you on the other end, and it's going to be one person. I'm not going to do that with 10 people. New Hanover and Cumberland counties in North Carolina both told me. So they sent it directly to them that I'm good at. Jeff said that is wrong. How would I proceed other than just moving on? I'd like to know if I could. Bill, just say that's fine. Just give me the list then. I mean they don't send the overage. The other thing to consider though, Bill, is I think there's 92 or 97 counties in North Carolina. Move along when you get craziness like that. Rebuttal for the son in jail, mom is a skeptic. Well, okay, so I'm assuming, Jason, with that question, the son's in jail and the mom's got power of attorney. If mom doesn't have power of attorney, she doesn't have any part in this. If he's in jail, he's probably an adult, right? Unless he's in juvie. If he's in juvie, okay, figure that out. Somebody needs to have power of attorney for the financial affairs of the person in jail, okay? Rebuttal for son and mom, skeptic. Okay, so having said that, Jason, we use a upfront payment. So that's what we, hey, listen, I understand you're a little bit skeptical, but within a week after you sign my documents, I'm going to have a check for X amount of dollars, and I give them 10% of the amount being held by the court in your hand. That's good faith, non-refundable money. That helps everybody get past whether or not you're going to trust me or not. If you don't have more than 20 files, Curtis, submitted, how will I know if my file is contracted? Curtis, we contact you when we put one on a contract, period. The end. Doesn't matter that you don't have 20. We always pay. You can turn in 2. If one of them goes under contract, we're going to let you know when it goes under contract, and we're going to pay you. This thing where the 20 files, people assume that because we have a 20 file minimum for you to ask for really in-depth overviews of your files, they assume that means something else. No, that just means you can't get an update on your files other than we will, of course, call you. Chris, that's been the case forever. Okay, that's why the buyout agreement works for me. I don't have a problem with people undercutting me on deals and offering super high percentages. First of all, I know the guy's going to be out of business next week because that's not enough money to cover his costs. But the second part of it is, I'm giving them, again, our system's designed to give them money up front. If you're giving them a 10% buyout up front, you don't run into this. Okay, Denny, I'm having difficulty reading this. I'm just going to read this out loud and hope that this helps. Tax sale in Georgia 2017 with an surplus for the claimant. Does a BAR of redemption in 2019 on the property, does that remove the surplus for the claimant? Maybe Jeff will weigh in on this one, but I have I have no idea what that is. This sounds like a question for Jeff. Daryl, the $500 per hour training. Yeah, I think we covered that. In other words, Danny, get up, use support for this question because you're losing me. I'm sorry, brother. I'm not trying to blow you off. Oh, here we go. Helene. In mortgage overages, how to figure out who has a surplus? The court says they don't have it. They say contact the bank, and the bank won't relinquish any information. How do you go about that? This is in Georgia. All right, Helene, in some states, and Georgia may be one of these states, for mortgage overages, the foreclosing attorney holds the surplus and then is the one that is responsible for giving that to the correct party and contacting them, but they don't. Jason, I've spoken to the brother and the mom. Jason, you need to get them to talk to the claimant and you need to know what their role is, right? Do they have financial power of attorney for the person in jail or not? If they don't, you're not going to be able to work with them anyway. And you've got a notary built into the jails, so you can get us a notarized documentation there from the jail. Hi, Sean. For the hybrid surplus, when getting a list, do you recommend only working the list in our own state? Because you mentioned to pick up these lists if we can't get them emailed to us. Absolutely not. Work whatever list you can get. James. Is an overage disbursement just produced from a private sale of a property? James. Overages are created from a foreclosure. Has to sell at a foreclosure, either tax, deed foreclosure, or mortgage foreclosure. Pre-purchase questions. What business name do you use when you're contacting potential customers through our partnership? Your name or our name? You use your name when you're contacting them, and then when you have the conversation with them to see if they're willing to speak with us, at that point you can give us our name, give them our name. How is the market in the state of Massachusetts? Deborah, I'm not sure that we've ever received anything from Massachusetts. What exactly does the whole course entail? How much is the course? Edward, I'm going to ask you to go to SurplusFundsRiches.com. National Surplus Funds is $497. You get an initial PDF. That PDF has a link and a password to go to a resources page that has a lot of video training. It also tells you exactly how to use support the book does. Also, you have access to submission pages, frequently asked questions. The support system is Jeff. He handles that. He usually gets back within 1 business day, but he has up to 3 if it's a really, really busy Monday, for instance. Everything you need to succeed. It also teaches you how to do it on your own, and it's tax and mortgage overages, Edward. How long does it take to close a file from beginning to end? Iris, it depends on the geography. Technically, when you turn it in, if they're easy to find, about 3 months. Has COVID-19 slowed down tax sales due to foreclosure moratoriums? Absolutely, Hussein. But remember, you can work an over list as well. As long as, and most of the courts didn't actually physically shut down. You can still contact someone there and just verify that it's an updated list. I want to make sure this is a good time to sign up. The Corona seems to have everything delayed. Actually, Greg, no, we're not having an issue with that. Iris, can you talk about your system more, please, and what you offer and for how much? Thank you. Iris, go to SurplusFundsRiches.com. On the right side, you can put your name and email address in there, and it'll give you an overview of our systems, everything we've got. Most of them are around $497. They teach you how to do it on your own. If it's a partnership program, teach you how to do it on your own or how to partner up with us. And you buy it online on the website. 10% upfront is an awesome selling tactic. Thank you, Mark. Exactly right. These people are broke, guys. Here's Jeff's answer to that question. If the property is redeemed, no surplus. So I didn't know what bar meant, but maybe that's what that meant. A list I did get from Onslow County has all overages. Are trust funds and condemnation award overages recoverable? All right, so Bill, real quick, because I haven't given these other guys the secret sauce, and I won't in a webinar, for how to get that list. Just so you know, if there's an SP on it, that's special proceedings, it's a mortgage overage. CB is usually, but sometimes it's condemnation. Usually CB is tax sale overages. Okay, just so you know. Sorry, apparently I've got stuff in my teeth here. Are trust funds and condemnation award overages recoverable? I'm going to assume you've run across something and did some more homework. As far as trust funds that are sitting in the court, the only reason they would be in that court, okay, in North Carolina, which is what he's talking about, the only reason that trust fund would be in that court is if it was to be given at a specific time to a minor. You are not going to be able to find that, even if the person is now an adult. You are not going to be able to find that file even going into the court. You literally, to get that file, you'll have to talk to the person and get a power of attorney from them to view the file, and the clerk probably has it in their office. Condemnation awards, yeah, you can go over that after that because you're doing a buyout. However, generally, if there are condemnation awards given that are being held, that's because the city or state condemned the property in order to take it, and they set some money aside for it. And the reason they were able to get away with that in the first place is the owner was dead, and you're working with heirs, and good luck. How do you not waste your time on redeemed files up front? You check with the court, Iris, to make sure that there's money still available or that it's an updated list. Any news on New Jersey? I saw a headline that implied that a person was charged with fraud on a claim. Did you see it? I did, Chris. We have to be very careful in New Jersey. A county in Georgia wanted me to perform a 50-year search before we would release the funds. Is that normal? Yep. Okay, so I'm so glad you asked that question. Guys, they want title search done. They want to know that nobody else is due the money. That's why we teach you how to do title search. Now, having said that, in states where they actually want to see the physical title search, not just an attorney saying, hey, I don't know, there's no other money owed, that's why we have attorneys on it. We have them run title as it stood for the day of the foreclosure. Usually costs $100, $150. Georgia mortgage foreclosures on non-judicial, not held through the court. You will have to find out who held the sale and contact them. That's Jeff. That's saying the same thing I did, which was the foreclosing attorney, the trustee for the bank, was holding that. So they're responsible for releasing the funds. Good luck getting a list from an attorney. Go after tax overages in Georgia. Greg, I have 220 hours a week for the overages. Is this enough to get 10K per month? Depends on you, Greg. I have no idea how fast you're going to work. If you can get it up to 15 minutes per file as far as researching debt and ownership, keeping in mind you still have to put some time in to get lists, right? But if you can keep it to that, I think that's doable. I submitted a file that made the surplus list, actually 2 files, but I wasn't contacted. James, they're on the list. You got them. Guys, here's the deal. If you submit a file to us, one of two things is going to happen. You're going to be contacted and say, hey, fix this. There's going to be an issue. And that's okay. It's normal. We teach you how to fill it out right. There's either going to be an issue and we're going to tell you, hey, fix this, and then we can take it, or it's going to show up on the list. And that's how you know that it's been accepted. We can't get back in touch with everybody on an accepted file. We can't do it. We don't have time to do it. What percentage are we giving attorneys? I pay attorneys 10% of the gross. No kidding. And then also I'll pay for any associated court costs if they have to do, if they have to actually go. And I'll also pay for travel. I can pay up to 13%. My attorneys pick up the phone Saturday afternoon at 3 o'clock because I pay them 10% of the gross. Bill, not sure if the response from Jeff, if the property is redeemed no surplus, is the response to my question. Well, that's because, Bill, we don't understand your question. There are surpluses showing on the achievement report. Thought you were talking about Georgia. I didn't know that Georgia had an achievement report. Are you talking about North Carolina? Look for SP files in North Carolina. Those are typically mortgage foreclosure proceedings. Jeff, you and I are like on the exact same thing. FYI, Michigan Supreme Court. Yep, I put that on our Facebook page. How do you check for judgments? Brian, okay. Honestly, man, you get them under contract. This is why I build in 10 days from when they sign my contract, and I get it anywhere from 7 to 10 days. I actually send them that check. I have the attorney double check for judgments in that county. The judgments have to be, in order to count against surplus, a judgment. This is not a mortgage, lien, don't get, in order for it to count, that judgment has to be recorded in the same county, same court system, same county as where that house was located, okay? So I have the attorney immediately double check title because I'm working with you guys. I have to assume that you've missed something, So I have them double check the whole title, including judgments. Attorney fees in Texas and Oklahoma. Guys, I pay 10% of gross plus travel and court costs. It's up to like 13% or more, regardless of the state. Pre-purchase question, Sean, what additional expenses should we expect to set aside for your program expense? It depends. If it's national surplus funds, you're not having to find the people or contact them, so you don't need skip tracing. Put some money aside for lists. If you want to work the most productive lists, you're going to work lists where you have to actually contact the court. Ask them for the list because the online stuff, a lot of other people may be working that. If you contact the court, they may charge you for copies. You have to send a self-addressed stamped envelope with a check, and they'll send you the list. What I'm struggling with the most and find the debt records office in Pinal County, Arizona, and supervisor court clerk does show some info, but not all the time. I mean, it's guys, I've never seen a situation where a court kind of sort of shows the information, they either do or they don't. Sean, what additional, okay. How has the pandemic changed your business? Good question, Eric. We pay our researchers now when we go into contract, we're gonna also pay them $500 toward their total commission, but we're gonna pay that up front when we get it under contract. Also, we're offering owners now not only an upfront buyout, but more money if it takes a little longer. Basically, I'll pay their bills while waiting for the court to pay us out. I see nothing but good things coming from that. And there's more people home. How does the National D-Flip program work? Yvonne, this is way too broad of a question. Please go to SurplusFundsRiches.com, right side, put your name, email address in that little box. That'll get you the insider's guide, and that'll go over all of our different programs. I'd be here for half an hour going through all that stuff. Is this a good time to start working bankruptcy goldmine per the potential uptick of bankruptcy following, Mr. John? Hey guys, just go on and work it. Don't, everybody's overthinking stuff. What about, well, how's the pandemic doing this? I know bankruptcy filings are coming, so maybe I should work this. I know that, just work it. Just work it. Yeah, bankruptcy filings are gonna go up just like mortgage foreclosures are about to really hit the fan. Why are tax overages for LLCs are off limits for surplus riches? Hussein, actually, I think there's a way that you can work that, but you have to jump through some hoops. Primarily, it's because in most instances with LLCs, you have multiple partners. They're usually extremely difficult to work, and they can be out of business. Generally, if an LLC has lost a property, they're out of business. We just don't. We want to go after the higher converting stuff whenever possible. You're free, of course, to use it yourself. If you bought the program, you're free to use it yourself. We teach you how to do it on your own. You can certainly go after them. You are only contacted on files if there are errors. That's right. This info is stated on the resources page. Okay. Greg, does California put limits on fees to receive? Greg, everybody does. We're not finders. We participate in the retrieval of the funds, and we give them an upfront buyout with 10% of the gross amount being held within a week after they sign our contract. We're participating in the retrieval. We're not finders. We don't fall under limits. Do you provide a computer system for us to track the process? Deborah, no. You're allowed to request. First of all, we're going to contact you with putting under contract. Secondly, once it's accepted, it'll be on the public list that you can access. When I say public, it's accessible through password, but it's public to the guys that are members. And you can check that. You can see it on there. But as far as the process, I'm thinking the progress, once you've turned in 20 files that we've accepted, you can actually once a month request updates on your files. We don't go beyond that. We don't do that for less than that, just because if you haven't turned in 20 files, there's a certain conversion rate here. And we had too many people in the past asking, well, what's the update on my files? And they turned in 3. I'm like, guys, excuse me, give me a break. We would spend all of our time doing that. Yeah, Liz, Pinell County has an online official record search. That's Jeff. I'm sure you guys saw that. Ed, the property type on the report I got are listed as CT02 through CT10. CT06 are listed as real property. Each property type has an account number. Do I use that in some way to find? Bill, have you bought my program? And if you have, get in touch with me. I'll double check that you bought, and then I'll give you what. That doesn't sound like the right list. Jeff in the recorder's office, or okay, you guys, Hussein, we do accept LLCs. You have to fill out company acceptance form located on the Surplus Resources page. Please read the update section. Yeah, guys, that's why I put that stuff there. Are you releasing any new additional programs this year? Probably not till January, maybe the illegal one. Chris, I'm saying that just to drive you crazy. I ran into a recent tax sale surplus list in Florida. Helmer, I hope you have the Florida surplus if you're working that as a researcher. Showing surplus funds from 2020, but some were far back as 2017. Does this county has not sent the 2017 back to the state or bill for claiming? Helmer, call the county. They'll tell you. Check the list. Ask them if they got it. I can tell you that 2017, Jeff can certainly wade in. I think it's about 18 months. Very good. Jeff handled your question, Liz. Gave you the actual place to check on that. Awesome. Guys, I didn't expect questions to come in this fast. I'm getting kind of dry here. I might need a Coke or something. On buyouts, what do and how do we structure back end, Bougie? Which is Jason. Jason, have you purchased my program? Because it's in there. All right, Bill, you said good luck getting a mortgage foreclosure list from an attorney. How then we work foreclosure overages? Bill, you can get tax overages from everywhere. In certain states, attorneys hold the list for mortgage foreclosures, and good luck, you're not going to get a list from them. However, in other states, you can get the mortgage overage list. You're being kind of silly. I heard you mention some recently about some different website for skip tracing that I've never seen in any of the resources pages. What was it, Brian? We like IDI data. We also like White Pages Premium and Microbuilt. Okay, I've waited long enough. I'm signing up. There you go, Greg. Thank you, sir. I'm looking forward to working with you, Greg. God bless. This is beautiful info. Platinum Nuggets. Salute Jeff and Bougie. Thank you, Jason. Jeff gave Liz Pima County, not Pinell. Yeah, she was asking for Pinell, Jeff. Yeah, it was IDI data, guys. How long does it take you to whoa, holy sh. Whoa, coming in fast. This is a good crew tonight. How long does it take you to contact the claimant after the file has made your list? We immediately send out mailings and call them on the 8%. On the 16, we're going to call the crap out of them because you said you've got in touch with them and that they're expecting our call. But we call all of them and keep calling them. And we usually don't purge for, I think it's a year and a half, 2 years. Just stop calling me out. Thanks. LOL. You must feel like a broken record. Do you have a list of do's and... Sorry. All right. That's a weird ring. I don't have that program for anybody. Okay. You must feel like a broken record. Do you have a list of do's and don'ts? Marie, we tell you exactly what to do. And we do at times tell you what not to do. The system actually takes it through step by step, Marie. So there's really not like a, okay, do this, and you know what I mean? I mean, it's a step by step. And Jeff got back again with another link, just to straighten that right out. All I did was search Pinal County, Arizona official records, search this info on how it searches in the ebook. Yeah, guys, you got to do us a favor, okay? If it's in the ebook, you're going to be directed back for if you're asking questions that are in the ebook, support and all that. We're going to say, read the ebook, guys. It tells you how to do that. So Jeff did search it exactly as it's done in the book, and he found it. So please, Liz, use that if you would. Use the ebook. And guys, another point I want to make. Read the book in its entirety, at least twice. Okay? There's step-by-step in there. There's a lot of information. What it really does too, that isn't obvious at first, is when you're contacting Jeff in support, you're not saying things like, the mortgage thingy, right? You know the terminology to use. You get a little more comfortable here. You know the terminology to use. And we're going to be speaking the same language. So that's very important. So read that ebook. I mean, I've had people a ton of times. I said, did you read the book? Yeah. No. I know you said you went to the first page and you clicked the link and entered the password to get to the resources page of the videos. That's right. Okay. Did you read page 2, 3, 4, 5? No, not yet. Go read it. Go read it. Guys, read it and write this stuff for giggles. There's a reason that works. Getting the course soon. Awesome, Jason. Search does each program has its own ebook? Yes. And its own resources page? That's a great question, guys. It's a great question. Anybody got something they've run across that was really a little more difficult or threw them off, or just something oddball? And by the way, the earlier question, I'm so glad it was asked. Hey, I'm working with this person, he's in jail. A lot of people automatically assume you can't work with them if they're in jail. Unless they owe restitution, you can work with them and get that money back. Okay, so don't let that stop you. People sell books that they've written in jail and make millions of dollars, right? So just because you lost your right to be a free individual and you have to be in prison or jail right now, that doesn't mean you lost the right to make money. Are mortgage surplus lists harder to get than tax? Helene, it depends on the state. Some states it's just as easy to get the mortgage foreclosure list. Some states you can't get it. It's just a back and forth. Which program do you currently that one can start out and have the quickest time to recoup the program costs? Guys, any of our partnership programs is going to work at about the same speed, about 3 months. What page of the Florida program are the videos? I only saw one video. Sean, that's all we needed on Florida. And the reason is Jeff did a step-by-step with actual example counties. So, and besides that, with the tax overages anyway, my God, Florida, they print the title work for you. So that's all you needed on that one. If you want to watch more videos though, the only way you got Florida, Sean, was you got it in the best of the ultimate bundle. Go to National Surplus Funds or National Surplus Funds is included if you want to watch more videos. Sean, how do you maintain your posture when you're recording while driving? You are too cold, Doug. Actually, there's 1 or 2 videos on there where I kind of cringe a little bit. I'm really keeping the camera when I drive. I'm really keeping it, where I'm for recording videos in the car all the time. I don't even let those videos get posted on YouTube because I mean, I just get all kind of hell. And I just, whatever. I mean, I'm in the right lane. I'm usually going speed limit or less. It's not during a time when there's usually not during a time when there's heavy traffic, although I've done that before. But I'm paying attention to the road and I see, I'm just talking at the same time. Can I use this program for my own property that was foreclosed for taxes? Wait a minute, let me go back a little bit. Here we go. How about Business Reviver? I think you're talking about Zombie. For a rookie that feels like a vet, do you do combos deals? As long as you got the other program, I'd get Reviver, and you can certainly reach out to me and ask me, and I can sell it to you separately if it's not available. But that's if you've bought our programs, because it's an add-on for our programs. Can use this program for my own property that was foreclosed for. Brady, just call the county first. I don't want you to buy my program thinking you're going to go use it to retrieve your own surplus. You don't know if there was surplus. You don't know if it sold for more money than it was owed. So call the county and ask them if there's surplus first. If there is, yeah, you can use my program. Purchasing defunct LLC corporations, exactly. Yeah, that's what the Reviver is all about. Do you do more pre-foreclosure deals or post-foreclosure deals, and which do you personally prefer? I'd say it's about a 50-50 split. I will tell you that I do think that in about 10 years, we're probably going to slowly be moving toward, just because it's the market, more of deed flips, buying and selling property, but it's pretty much split up. Can you explain more about that course and how it can make a big difference for us? Wait a minute, I'm sorry, I'm jumping around a little bit. All right, Doug, I got your driving thing. Can you explain more about that course and how it can make a huge difference for us? That's Zombie Business Reviver, Jason, I'm thinking is what you're asking about. It's a way to pick up where the owner of the property at the time of sale was a business or an LLC that's gone defunct. And we occasionally offer that. But we're gonna, I mean, you need to reach out to me if you want that. And you've got to already have one of our programs for that to work. It's designed as an add-on to an existing program. Gerald, working Florida lately with a lot of estate tax sales, tax sales against the states. Most have too many heirs. Is that what you find, or do you have a secret system to make these estate sales work? You know, here's the deal, man. You know, let's say the average is 30 grand as an overage, and let's say there's 6 heirs. Well, now we're talking about what? If you're going to split it evenly, 5,000 a person, unless you have an executive you can deal with one person, right, and just make a deal on the total money and let them break it up. Are you going to send out the 6 different heirs a mobile notary, and then how much are you going to pay them since they're only owed 5 grand a piece? And then is it going to be a situation, has it been just a few months and you're going to have to open up an estate file, which is going to be $3,500? I mean, in the end, you can't offer these guys any money. Now, if you're going through an individual, you can. But Gerald, guys, I want to give you guys some advice. What's happened is you've seen a couple of files and it's starting to register in your head that that's the way it is, period. That's not the case. I used to have case managers, Jeff can tell you this too. I used to have case managers that would go, oh my God, this is what's happening. I go, that's fine. Let's make sure. So when you find a file like that, you know, where they're saying this particular thing, or this is what's happening right now, or whatever, put that right over here in the corner, and we'll look at that again in about 2 weeks. And inevitably, there was nothing else that showed up. They just got it in their head that that's what was happening. Zombie details. It's an add-on, Jason, to an existing program, so it doesn't add or detract as far as time frame. Hell yeah, you got it. Okay. So in every state, it varies where the foreclosure takes place. If a bank buys it back and there's a surplus, I've had a hard time confirming that they have that surplus. So you just move on. If a bank buys it back, they pay what's owed. There is no surplus. Who is this? Is this the same person as the other one? Helene. You're really chasing a lot of stuff. I don't think you have our program because you wouldn't be chasing this weird crap. If a bank buys a property back, there's no surplus. And guys, just so you know, the vast majority of states, when a bank says I'm buying it back and they're ending the auction, they're not actually buying, they're not actually paying any money. They're just taking the property in lieu of, right? They're saying, yeah, we're buying it back. We hit our own bid. Thank you very much, county or sheriff or whoever they're going through, right? So they don't actually have to come up with the money. which means there's no surplus. And that's the end of that. Okay. Now you will occasionally see a bank buy their own property back, because I know somebody's going to say this. And no matter how you worked it, there was 150 owed period, even including attorney's fees and late fees and all this other stuff. And the bank bought it back for 250. Well, there's a reason for that, right? Because that same bank had a second against that property. So they're usually cleaning that up as well. But guys, that's when you see where it's more money than you thought it was supposed to be, that's usually the case. But when a bank buys it back, there's no surplus. There's no surplus. They're not going to pay themselves more money than they're owed. Why would they do that? They're going to do that, they'd let it go to auction. They're doing that because they know they can get it cheap enough and then fix it up and resell it. That's why they're doing it. Okay. All right, any other questions, guys? Because we're rocking tonight. We're doing really good. I really like the question about the jail, the person in jail, because like I said, a lot of people think you can't work with them, and you can. You're welcome, Jason. Let's take a look at somebody that said they had purchased one. Guys, we usually send it out within a half an hour after you buy the initial information. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, and we're keeping everything where it is right now. Probably not going to raise the price for a little bit. We just have that countdown clock on there because that gives us the right to raise the price whenever we want, or take programs off when we feel like it. You know, just so, not to stop offering them altogether, just if we want to, if we're getting a lot of files in at once. Does your bankruptcy program show how to work with a debtor to retrieve their unclaimed funds? No, we recommend you not try that, because in the bankruptcy gold mine, not the hybrid, crap, in the bankruptcy gold mine, sorry, I need to get back to this where it was. That's money that was left over because it's due to a creditor. Sometimes they'll list the debtor, but that's just a little weird to work. And when debtor or creditor same is the way we put that, we tell you not to work it. It's just a waste of time. In Florida, counties do not show death certificates or probate documents. Yeah, that's the most counties, Elmer, in their official record search system because they're confidential. Is there a way to get copies of those documents to determine if we can work with the heirs? You would have to have a family member sign off on getting that. Okay. The best thing is to call around on the heirs you believe are involved. You can just look up the obituary. They'll tell you who's still alive, right? Call our obituary in that county and state. Call the potential heirs, ask if there was an executor, and work that out. Is it true you can get the overage amount from the county docket records? I've observed that if you wait until it's posted on the county website, which most are backed up until September, but those county access fees don't come cheap. Where are you working, James? And what are you looking at? Doesn't sound like you're looking at the right stuff. Is there going to be a replay? Yes. I understand, Paul, the last replay link didn't work. We had an issue with that. This one should work just fine. Ask me some questions, though. Surplus was created, but the owner is on a do not call list. How should we proceed to contact them, or should submit the file to you and allow you to try to contact? Well, Corey, if you have, how did you turn it into us? If you turn it into as a Premier 16, you can't turn around now and say, oops, I can't get a hold of them, so you work it as an 8. If you submit it to us as an 8%er, we're going to go after, that's the National Surplus Funds Program. We're going to call them anyway. But you have to have one of our programs to work with us, period. Any new programs in the works, Mark? Not for a while. I mean, yes, I am. We're both working on that crazy gray area illegal thing. Has nothing to do with overages. It's just going over some of the stuff we've seen people do that we recommend you not do. And it has nothing to do with overage. It's more of a flipping side. January, we do have an exciting new program coming up, and good Lord, it's the end of July. We'll probably start announcing that month and a half, 2 months. Telling you guys, oh, wow, the year, it's just flown by. I got left is 2 more years for college for my son. My girls are out. Okay, I went to your website to purchase your program. This is what I saw: $247 Elite Inner Circle, 347 Bankruptcy Goldmine, Surplus Hybrid, 347 Zero Competition, Flatback Broker, Ultimate Finder, 297 Zombie Business. Can you please talk about the difference which are not listed, or I can choose one and pay for it? If possible, can you? Those are add-ons, Iris, I believe. And I don't, you still have to buy one of the main programs to get this. Jeff, you can tell me if I'm wrong. This doesn't even look right to me. So Iris, I'm gonna let Jeff wade in on this. SurplusFundsRiches.com. You must be a past buyer. That's what Jeff's saying. That's a loyalty discount page. Okay, so buy whatever you'd like to get. If you're not sure, go to SurplusFundsRiches.com. On the right, there's a box. Put your name and email address in there. You'll get an overview of all the different programs. Read that and decide which one you'd like to get. That's Passport Buyer Loyalty Discount. And you'll notice that's not as cheap as the add-ons for folks that buy our programs on. You know, the add-ons are usually the cheapest way to get a program or bundles when you buy one of our programs on the website. The Past Buyers Loyalty Discount is going to be less than full price, but it's not going to be as cheap as if you bought a bundle. So I always recommend folks buy bundles just to get the best deal, because you're going to find you like the information, and you're going to want to work more than one program. It's fantastic. That's a good question. Sorry I jumped on you with that. I didn't realize that was the buyer loyalty discount. Those of you guys, keep hitting something here. Those of you guys that bought from us already, that is there on the resources page, and this is yet another reason for you to always check the resources page. That's where you give updates. Excuse me, it's linked from your ebook. That's where you give updates and have a ton of information as you go. Assignment of mortgages, how do we handle them in the paperwork? We don't assign mortgages, Denny. Are you talking about overages, or are you talking about flipping property? That's my first question. Secondly, my second question, and I'm going to need you to answer this, is have you purchased from us? Because I'm not understanding the question. Assignment of a mortgage. Overages. Okay, Denny, we don't assign. If a mortgage, I don't understand what you're saying. How do you handle them? If it was assigned, if the mortgage was assigned if you're reading that, if it's assigned to another company, that's the company that now has the debt. They have a priority claim to the overage. You can't work that file as a researcher with us. I'm assuming that's where you're going with that. If you're thinking you can buy the mortgage, have it assigned to you, and use that to collect the overage, good luck. Gerald, do you scrub your list for do not call list? I do not, but I'm concerned that I'm getting fined down the road. Never have, Gerald. I don't feel like this is I think this is a gray area as far as solicitation, because it's about money they're have not been told by the county or state that they were supposed to have been told about. I don't have the time or energy to go for it. Plus, we're contacting, we don't know if it's the right person to begin with. So I really don't look at that. And to be honest with you, anybody on here, I think, would agree with me. I'm on every do not call list on the planet, and I get probably at least 6 telemarketing calls a day. So what does that tell you? I don't think any of those people are getting fined or indicted for anything. I purchased your course 3 years ago, and I didn't have time to work. I didn't have time to work it, but now I'm almost 60, and my job is very physical, and I need to change careers, and now I'm very interested. It says my link has expired. Can I still have access? Thank you in advance. Okay, Tony, go to SurplusFundsRiches.com. Okay, click on the Contact Us tab, and go ahead and, Jeff answered that other question. Anyway, go ahead. There's an email address there. Email me. Tell me about when you bought, what program you bought, and what email you used, and I'll look it up. And but 3 years is pushing it. Sometimes we can't find it if it's that old. Just list who has the mortgage last on the worksheet. Okay, Jeff is assuming what you were asking when the gentleman was asking when he's talking about assignment of mortgage. and he's thinking you're asking how that needs to be put on the title worksheet. And if that's the case, yeah, it tells you how to do that in the ebook. I was actually told that by a Lehigh what just happened? Yeah, there is Jeff's pointing out there's a section on the worksheet that asks if the mortgage was assigned. Just list who has the mortgage last. There you go. And that's where the last thing I'm seeing. All right, 950. Guys, last shot. Any questions? Give me a shot. Also, by the way, somebody just put a 1 in or whatever in your comment section, whatever. Who here hasn't bought from us yet? The reason I'm asking that is you can go to SurplusFundsRiches.com, put your name and email on the right side, and get an overview of all of our programs called the Insider's Guide. It'll also have my phone number in there. If you have questions after you read that, please give me a call, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at the phone number listed. Hi, Sean. While looking at judgments on files, I have come across instances. There we go. Okay, good. There's a lot of new people. While looking up judgments on files, I've come across instances where there's a judgment for possession of drugs. The judgment doesn't reference the property of the person I'm researching. Should this judgment be included on my paperwork? Thanks, Ed. I'm going to let Jeff respond to that because I don't know if there's a dollar amount included with that. And I've never seen that particular. Read the entire judgment, whatever you do, Ed, because it'll tell you if there's a dollar amount associated, and if there is. And it'll also tell you if there's an expiration time on that. Would I dissolve LLC or entity once surplus is recovered if recovery is successful? I would. And the reason I tell you that's using the business reviver. That's a great question. And the reason is you're going to revive it, bring it back around, right? And in order to collect the surplus using the zombie business reviver. And then I'd get rid of it because what's the point? Is there maybe a creditor out there that's due money that could see that it's active again and come after you? Hell yeah, I'd dissolve that immediately. What is your option about working TX National Surplus Funds? Liz, you must mean opinion. Work whatever state you can get a list from. Okay. What is the difference between wholesaling and deed flipping? Mark, big difference. Most of the times when people talk about wholesaling, you're getting a optional contract or you're getting an assignable contract. I'm buying these guys. I give them money. I pay off the debts that's foreclosing to stop the foreclosure. I let them stay in the property a little longer if they're in it. I give them X amount of dollars, and then I record the deed, pay off that debt. That's foreclosing, not any additional debt yet. I have to when I resell it though. And then I simply resell the property. Most wholesaling, no offense, but Mark, most of the time when I hear wholesaling, it's guys that are full of crap. They don't have any money. They're just trying to assign a contract, or they're trying to subject to contracts or bull crap like that. And that's where I'm coming from on that. I have not purchased it. That's okay, Verlene. I have not. There is. I don't know what that is, Ed. I have not purchased yet. Still trying to decide a national surplus or that plus some of the other add-ons. You know, guys, a lot of people ask me what to buy. I'm going to answer you as if it was one of my kids. I have 2 kids that just graduated from college. I have a third that's got 2 years left. If the 2 first ones said, hey, Dad, I don't want to use the education you just paid $80,000 for. I want to work for you. Or if my son said, I no longer want to go to college and work for you, I'd set them up with the best bundle, have them start with Florida because it's easiest to research, and that's the only way to get Florida is either in the best, or the ultimate. It's a separate program for us. And then they can move into a national surplus and a national deed flip as well. And that's how I'd start them all. So if you can afford the best, I'd say that's $847. That's a screaming good deal. I don't know how much longer it'll be that cheap. If not, get the trifecta. That's a great way to go. Another option would be the Pro Pack or the Advanced Pro Pack. You'll see all this stuff on the SurplusFundsRiches.com website. And rock on. Gerald, you're very welcome. Sorry if I came across kind of rough. I'm moving kind of quick. Just found out about the seminar. Will it be recorded? It will. Mark Hirschberger has not bought yet. We spoke on site. Wilson. All right, Mark. Sorry, guys. Sorry for saying your last name. Guys, you don't need to give me your last name. Last response was a response to criminal judgment. I would list it as, this is Jeff. This is a criminal justice. It's usually low. I know Florida listed against surplus on their title. Great answer. Is the bailout bundle for tax overages or just mortgages? Brady, look at it carefully. I don't know that the bailout bundle has any overage programs in it. So check that. Just read the list of what's in it. It's on there. Thanks, Sean and Jeff. You're welcome. Do you still offer the Ultimate Finder program? So what do you think of working in the state of California? I think it's great when it works as an Ultimate Finder program, Jay, but I don't know if we sell that individually. I think it's available as either an add-on or on a Pass Buyer Loyalty discount page. Buying best bundle plus 16% in the morning. Awesome, Joe. I think that's a smart way to go. Your good father just thought I'd end on a positive note. Thank you, James. That's cool. Thank you. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap it up. I appreciate everybody coming tonight. As always, you're welcome to call me. Please review the overview on our website, SurplusFundsRiches.com. Right side of the page, name and email. Get that overview, read that. After that, give me a call if you'd like. 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Monday through Friday at the phone number listed there. It's 704-791-9398. Thanks, and thank you, Hamachi.